6 or 7 years ago, my husband and I went through financial peace for the first time at our church with our pastor and his lovely wife, and we kind of found what we needed. I was looking for something that would make me feel more secure financially, and I think Andy was looking for something to get me on board, because he is definitely the saver and I'm definitely the spender. And he was, I think my sweet honey needed something to like get me, so I wasn't willing to go out there and spend every extra cent that we had. We have since then gone through Financial Peace University, I think 5 or 6 times total. We went through consistently about once a year. Then this last winter into spring, we were involved in another class at our church, which was perfect timing for us. When we first started Dave Ramsey, we had about $40,000 of consumer debt. We had a little bit on credit cards, but not very much. Most of it was a car that we had recently purchased brand new, and we also had school debt. Both my husband and I are in education, and both of us have our bachelor's and our master's degrees in areas that we're interested in, and so there were just small debts that needed to be paid off that kind of all added up to about $40,000. It took years. It took, I think, 3.5 years probably for us to get all the way through that debt. We became debt-free, which was such a gift. Take that back. It was probably more like 4 years. And we became debt-free except for our house, which was fabulous, and couldn't recommend it more. We found that after that much time of not spending money, that we really were excited to have some money just to spend. And unfortunately, for about 1.5 years, we really didn't do a lot to continue to make super wise choices. We continued to make a budget every month, and we kind of told our money where to go, but we didn't tell the extra where to go. We definitely didn't get ourselves in more debt, which was something that we had learned, but we also didn't on purpose tell the rest of our money where to go. And so it was not a bad time. It was pretty fun. We ate out a lot, and there was plenty of money to do pretty much whatever we wanted, but we weren't making positive strides forward. We continued to have $1,000 in the bank, although honestly we didn't use it as an emergency fund. We used it as kind of like, well, if we wanted to do this, we could use some of our emergency fund, and then we just put it back the next month. And we continued to do that, so we typically always had about $1,000 in the bank at the beginning of the month, but by the end of the month we might have eaten into it, so it truly wasn't for emergencies. We continued to slowly add to a fund that we can't really get to easily, and that is what we consider our 3 to 6 months. We have closer to 3 than 6, but kind of in the middle, but multiple $1,000s, which is great. And we continue to add money to that every month, but we didn't get very intentional with it. We didn't complete our 3 to 6 months and then move on. We just kind of stalled out. My daughter walked through. I'm sorry. So, like I said, we continue to make some positive choices. The only thing we've ever really been willing, since we first started Dave Ramsey, the only thing we've been willing to accrue debt on is like health-related things. Anytime somebody needs something health-related, we just do it and then we figure it out. And we've done that a couple times. Both of our kids needed braces. We totally could have saved the money and not a terrible amount of time. We could have saved the money and just paid cash. We did not do that. Our orthodontist has a program where you can put it on credit and it's 0% and then you pay it off. And with our oldest daughter, she needed braces right after we became debt-free, so we went ahead and did that with her and felt good about that. And so when our younger daughter needed braces as well. We went ahead and did the same thing. That was not as wise because we had plenty of time to get the money together. We just didn't. We felt good about that. I made some notes. So fast forward to this spring, and the storm kind of came for us. My husband has worked at the same job for about the last 10 years. He loves the people there, but the job itself was hard, and there's just a lot of moving parts, and he wants to be really good at what he does, and it's hard to do when there's so many pieces to the puzzle, and his puzzle was pretty big. So he found a position in his old school district. He took that position, but he took that at a pay cut. We knew going in that when he left the job that he was in and moved to a different job, we knew that he would probably take a pay cut, and we were right. And there's a significant amount less per month that we'll be bringing in. So that kind of happened, and we really looked at when he took the job this last spring, more like February, end of February, beginning of March, we knew that we'd have to make some changes in our budget because we've had so much extra, and basically we're losing a lot of that cushion. And so we kind of got serious about our budgeting and about what that needed to look like on a monthly basis, and also at our bills. And we realized that, we had fallen into debt because we were still paying on our youngest daughter's braces, and we had several $1,000s left on that. The world is set up to being very debt friendly, and we had said yes, where we would never get a credit card, but kind of sneaking in through the back door, we had acquired debt again. And so our first step was to kind of get that paid off. Life kind of got harder as we're really trying to get serious and pay off our youngest daughter's braces, which we did before summer, before he starts a new job in the fall. And we realized that there are going to be 2 months this summer where Andy's not going to get a paycheck. And so if you think about not having a check for 2 months, and when you finally get started on having a check, it's going to be less, I kind of started to freak out. And I'm proud of us. We knew it was coming, and we've really done a pretty good job in weathering this storm. We started by making a plan. We did that in about March, and the first step of our plan was to pay off Catherine's braces, and we paid off several $1,000s there. Our oldest daughter graduated from high school, and so we knew that there would be additional expenses in May because of that, and there were, and we were able to cash flow all of her expenses. And then beyond that, we just started stockpiling money because we knew that there would be 2 months that Andy would not get a paycheck, and we would need to be able to cover that. And we were able to put back several $1,000s. I made the choice to teach summer school, which gave us a chunk of money for a specific purpose. My one daughter is going to college next year. She's going to go to junior college locally, and we want to be able to help with that. Our youngest is involved in cheer crazy. She's involved in cheer at school, and she's involved in competitive cheer, which is thousands of dollars a year. And so for us to continue that, we have to think that through and put money aside. And I know for some people that would just be one of those things that you cut out automatically, but we've made the choice this year for sure to go ahead and follow through with all of that, and so we need to be able to pay for it. Currently, we're in the first month of our storm, and Andy didn't receive a paycheck, or he won't receive a paycheck on the 22nd like he normally would, and then he won't receive one next month either. God is so good though. He was given an opportunity to do some training in his new position. It doesn't directly relate to what he'll do, but it kind of gives him an overview of the place where he'll be. We're paying him a wonderful rate to to learn basically about this place that he'll be, and so we are able to put some more money back. We don't know when he'll get that money though, so we needed a plan for what to do in the interim, and that's so it's a gift that he's going to be receiving that money, because it really does take care of a lot of our needs. Our plan for getting through our storm was to, as soon as we could, we stockpiled all the money that we could. We stopped spending it on things that we decided were not worth it. I did summer school and was able to I can make more doing summer school than I could getting a part-time job for the summer. So even though I only do summer school during the month of June, and so that money is kind of put aside and technically earmarked for cheerleader kind of fees, of which there are quite a bit, but it also can be used to get us through the summer. And then we have that emergency fund, and we decided that we looked at our 3 to 6 months. We looked at how much money we think we're going to need, and we took out several $1,000s. We took out $4,000 from that emergency fund and put it with our $1,000 emergency fund. And so we have that money just sitting there, and hopefully we won't need to touch it. Hopefully some money will start coming in from the trainings that Andy's going to, and then that combined with my money, combined with what we already have in a savings account set aside specifically for summer needs, hopefully that will be enough to cover. And then at the end of the summer, when he gets paid on a more regular basis, when he starts getting 2 checks a month, then all will be well, and we'll kind of get back into a more regular, spending plan, I guess. Definitely some different kinds of things going on in our lives, but also we are living proof that even if you make stupid choices, if you start making mostly right ones, it kind of will overshadow the stupid parts. And that's really what we're trying to do, is take this season of change and make it into just a blessing for our family and not a curse. We don't want to have to put money on credit and then have to pay it back. We want to be able to live wisely. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. I hope you can make it a great day.